Haven't happened last time.
It's been a week, so I'm not entirely sure.
We traveled, found
In 2 weeks.
this pipe house, made it work again. We saw a big dark building or dark structure looking thing in the distance. So now we're in the magnificent mansion getting ready to do that. Or head over there to see what that building was.
Yeah, that was the one where that we saw while flying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think you guys were getting ready to settle in for the evening because it's getting dark.
Yes, because that's why we summoned the mantle.
Yeah.
It's the mantle. Well, LV's going to make sure that everyone's settled in the night, for the night, sort of pop in, see how everyone's doing. Other than that, I don't have much to contribute.
Yeah, kinda same here. Well, L's just gotta be in our room, chilling. Beastie is going to be also chilling.
All's gonna be in his workshop, just working on, just doing some tinkering.
Okay.
Thorgrim's gonna drink.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out if I want to do an RP thing or not right now.
Why not?
Alright. George is going to head over to Adel's room.
Sweet.
Alright. I'll just be folding up her cape while we look over. Hello.
Hey. You said I should come talk to you. Something was wrong.
What's the matter?
It's kind of hard to describe. You know what? This might make it easier. George is going to pull out his 2 green long swords and is going to split himself in half.
She'll look between the two.
I guess as you look, Adel, one George seems a bit more impatient than the other. As the other George just sits outside the wall and says, "We're having an internal disagreement, if that makes sense. I don't know."
Alright. About what?
About how to handle about whether or not we agree with you, or why do I think this was a good idea? About whether or not your idea of just running away from the Lich or whatever.
Very well. And she'll look between them both. State your cases.
I think that it's best for us to simply listen to you as a leader and just follow whatever you want to say.
And the other one says, "Fuck that."
So I looked at shit posting and I just see the metapod that shit.
The metapod with the jelly face.
The time bomb was set.
What the fuck?
Delayed plasma.
And yeah.
Jesus, that is horrible.
The delayed best Nyanapod.
And the other more impatient George says, "And I don't think it's good at all to grant a Lich more time for whatever he's doing here. Because you can correct me if I'm wrong. Liches mainly benefit from time and learning.
Well, you're not wrong there, that a lich will benefit from time and learning. But here's my response to that. A lich also benefits from bodies. And if we rush in there and die in a fight which I'm not sure we can win, that's what he's going to get.
Okay, so then what's the problem with just coming up with an actual strategy other than just run?
Because we don't know it. We know nothing about it except for how powerful he is.
Okay. I mean, we have 2 scholars here. Do you not think either of them would know about liches, what their weaknesses, things like that?
What is the name of the lich that's in this area?
I did not know, but I'll be honest, I'm assuming it is that Dracal Lenore person that we saw in the library.
Indeed. I am also, that is the hypothesis I'm going on. I've already spoken with Bloom Hollow on this subject, and she has very little idea about him. And I feel she's the best scholar that we have, unless I am missing something.
I mean, I'm talking about just, I guess, the basic stuff when it comes to liches. I don't know, was that what you were talking about?
No. If judging from how he was conducting himself, I don't think he's just a lich. I feel he is an arch-lich. And not just any arch-lich, an arch-lich which considers someone like the puppeteer to be beneath him. I have seen arch-liches before. Technically speaking, my father is somewhat of one. And even he is not a typical arch-lich. What I'm saying is, treating any lich the same is a very easy way to die, especially when we know next to nothing about them. Once we know more, by all means, we should come back here, stop him in his tracks, because he would be more of a hindrance than a help. But the fact of the matter is, if we die here, everything ends.
Yellowdress kind of just says, "See? Will you shut the fuck up? Is it bad that I don't want the same thing that happened years ago to happen again?"
You mean what happened to your father?
No.
Then what?
Both of them will look at you and just say nothing.
Well, I will not pry into it if you do not feel comfortable telling me, but at least don't lie to me, George. George is.
It's something that isn't really a concern at the pressing moment, so...
Very well. I'll trust your judgments on that matter.
However, the more calmer George steps up. I guess I also have my own flaws that I like to overthink. What happens if, by chance, this lich, God forbid, has an amulet?
Then we will come back for it later.
Alright.
No, not. Is there anything else I can help you two with?
No. I think we'll be alright. Then impatient George just goes, and he'll just walk back to his room. Pacing George, we'll look to you, Adel, and it'll be... Well, we'll tell you about what's going on once we get out of here. At least, what we lied to you about.
Very well.
And they'll both go out, combine back into one George, and he'll go back to his room.
Alright. I'll watch him go, and then is going to look over to Hubert, who's no doubt somewhere in the area.
He's sitting in a chair.
Hubert, if we split you into two, what would your two parts be like?
I'm uncertain.
Now, parts of me feels like one of you would try to murder everyone. But that's really all of you, wouldn't it be?
Right.
Well, yes. The only thing that's stopping you is your self-control.
Yes. I believe that's the point I'm making.
Oh god.
So one of you,
You-
would
You
have
presume
your
that they would
self-control.
only try to kill them rather than actually kill them. I'm rather insulted.
So your bloodlust is universal, but your self-control isn't?
Presuming it split me into two equal halves, one would be my self-control and the other would be my bloodlust, yes?
If that's the case, I do feel
I
it
heard
would
lust.
Not that kind of lust, Jubilee.
My bad. Carry on. Pulls his head back.
Gosh, I don't even want to know what multiple versions of you would be like.
It's the top and the bottom.
She splits herself in two and they just both go into a quiet room for a few days. But at the end of it, neither of them can walk.
I'm not narcissistic. I don't love myself that much.
Yet.
Yet. Well,
Oh god, someone's gonna ask George they can borrow his sword.
I still do think it would be a try, because your self-control would try to stop your bloodlust, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't that result in one of me killing the other me?
I feel you could figure out how to stop yourself without killing.
For real though, I kind of want to experiment with this now.
Jubilee?
No, not like that. Like I'm curious. I'm actually curious what personalities would get split between us and each individual person.
If it were me, one part would be just me, and the other parts would most likely be who I used to be.
Are you sure about that?
I feel so.
What if it? What if it doesn't really split you between past and present?
No, it's between two sides.
So if anything, it'd probably be your logical side versus your emotional side.
My logical versus my emotional, you say?
That's my theory, at least. But they'd both still be the current you, not the past you.
I like that theory.
Which is why I think if it were to work on me, it'd be my serious side and my fun side, not my dominant and submissive sides, in my theory.
So your serious side and your fun-loving side.
That's what I think, but again, we wouldn't know unless we actually tried it.
I feel like your fun-loving side would flirt with me, and the other one would take Hubert into a room somewhere.
Do you just think I'm all lust?
Yes.
I know I joke about it, but I actually do care about you.
I never said that you didn't. I am aware that you are a very intelligent woman that is more than capable, even more so than she is aware of. And that I trust you with my very being, which is why I allowed you to be on the same office as Hubert. I also know that when we first met Zardak, you ended up taking him into a room for so long that you couldn't walk.
I lived, didn't I?
The two are not contradictory.
If it makes you feel any better, that one was more curiosity of that when I first learned about my ability to absorb people's abilities.
I'm not sure that makes me feel any better, Jubilee.
Well, I don't feel comfortable testing it on people I care about, and I'd be the only risk involved if I were to test something like that.
Speaking of which, Jubilee, I would like you, before you start acting as my shield, to take further training from Hubert.
That's reasonable enough. I admit I'm keeping up with you when you move around so much.
I feel you're acting a bit too similarly to Hubert in that regard, acting as a stone wall in front of me. But you need to remember that there are different ways to use a shield.
So, because Hubert has a similar problem, you think he should teach me? No offense, Adel, but I don't see the logic here.
No, I feel Hubert should teach you because he's more aware of how to act as when I need someone like that. You don't need to act exactly how he does. He chooses to act this way, but he has the options. I feel he would be able to give you ideas.
Suppose having a second view isn't not a bad idea.
She nods.
In any case, I haven't progressed with transcribing the pages yet, but I should get on that then.
Thank you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, although I've gotten further than I thought, it's still proving difficult with some words.
Well, you are reading the diary of my sister, who has the ability to force people to forget she exists. So,
Of course, I feel like there's some sort of legend involving that ability, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
I wonder why that is.
Well, not like trying to remember a specific person, but like, I don't know. Maybe it's something we should ask one of the older guys about, like one of the legendary heroes or something, if we ever get a chance.
Once we get out of here, I can ask my father.
Maybe. I'm just saying, let's not just limit it to your father, if that's the case.
He's the most knowledgeable out of the four.
True, but that does not mean he knows everything.
I mean, one of them is a king, one of them is retired, one of them is Charlie, and the other one is a multi-realm hopping lich that's lived for thousands of years.
That's what they are now, not what they were then.
She shrugs. We will see.
Somewhere Obi gets really insulted because that is what he was then.
It's more reference than the other members, but Obi's gonna be insulted either way. In any case, is there anything else you require of me, milady, other than getting training with Hubert and continuing to transcribe the book?
No.
Understood. Just let me know if you need anything. And my room's nearby. That's why I heard the word.
Yes, I know. See you tomorrow.
If she'll bow her head and make her leave.
Well, I'll go back to getting ready to rest. I guess in the meantime, Beastie's just keeping an eye on the Ravager. Actually, hold up. Just gonna get him some soup, because, yeah, he hasn't eaten anything the entire time.
Soup?
Yeah, soup.
From the soup store?
Why are you buying
at
soup at the soup? Wait a second.
I'm at soup.
Why are you buying clothes at the soup store?
Why are you buying soup at the clothes store?
Fuck you! God, I miss that guy. Purple Eyes had so many good one-liners, and that one stood the test of time.
Thorgrim's actually going to make his way over to George's room. And by the way, Phenom Chaos, this is entirely your fault. What's about to happen?
Okay.
Thor's
I can't wait.
Gonna show up at George's room. He's gonna knock at the door.
Hear a little bit of writing before. It's like, yeah, Thorgrim, or who's there?
It's me. Can I come in?
Sure.
Okay. Open the door. Come in.
Wait, he's gonna close his book that he's writing in.
Hey George, can I borrow your swords?
He'll kind of give you a long look. Why?
Well, the way I thought about it was, and Thorgrim's gonna find a place to sit down and says, well, you can create two of yourself, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, if I created another one of me, that would probably be the best idea. Like, he looks serious and pensive for a second, and then he perks up and goes, for training!
You want to fight yourself for training.
I want to, yeah, exactly. I want to, like, create another one of myself, so because it would be a perfect training partner. I don't want to ask Hubert all the time. I mean, that would just be boring, but, like...
I'm not saying no, but wouldn't it be more beneficial to get practice with someone who has different types of fighting?
Well, I mean, I don't want to ask Hubert all the time. I'm sure he's got way more important things to do, you know, like protecting Adel and all that. But, you know...
I mean, yeah, but you have people, someone like Otto, Elvie, myself, Jubilee.
Well, I mean, did you want to fight with me?
Sure.
Oh, okay. That's a lot easier than I thought. Yeah, no,
Dang it.
I was hoping for a training partner mainly because, well, my job, as you may have noticed, is to be this big bulky dwarf guy who stands in the way of everything and gets angry and takes a lot of hits, right? So, I need to find the way to best do that because I'm trying to figure out how to be the best me that I can be instead of trying to branch out and do a bunch of different things.
Huh. I don't know why that hit a lot closer to home than it did. He'll kind of tap his book for a little bit, scratch his head. You have anything I can attune to?
Anything specific?
A weapon, I guess.
Probably nothing you can attune to. Hang on a second. Thorgrim will root around in his pack for a bit. Let's see. What do we got here? Nothing really that you can strap a tune to. A lot of my stuff is just not like that magical. Like I got my Warhammer, my other Warhammer, my bigger Warhammer, got my sword, long sword.
It's fine. I can just attune to the boots I have.
Okay. You have anything? You want anything else that's not like a weapon?
None that I could think of at the moment. Kind of. With what you said, I feel like it's probably better if you just did the training with yourself rather than training with somebody else who really want to, I guess, find the flaws within yourself.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Cause like, who better to, know my weaknesses than me, right? It's kind of but I didn't want to like just take your shit. I just, I thought I would at least ask first.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Just probably need to give me some time though, so I can attune and do everything.
Yeah, no rush. Just kind of an idea that I had, I don't get a lot of those, and so I want to act on the ones that I do get.
Actually, I'm just gonna think for a second and look at Thorgrim.
Yeah.
Are you cursed with anything?
Well, I mean, kinda. It's not a thing exactly. It's more of a. How would I describe it? Lycanthropy, technically, but.
He'll kind of squint his eyes. Alright.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a good control on it. I can't really like shift or anything, but it does make my skin a little more resistant to things that, you know, like swords, slashy things.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. That's pretty much it though.
That's fine. Alright. That just work, because if you did end up having a curse, I'd be concerned with splitting yourself if you ended up having a curse side of yourself and a non-curse side.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. I wonder if... that is a problem.
It could just leave me over-concerning, but that's one thing I can do with my swords, is literally sever the curse from people. So I don't know how it would work if someone cursed were to split themselves in half.
Yeah, that's a good point. I need to think about that now. Because
Actually,
I have a bit of a knowledge of like, curses and stuff, yeah.
George will just pull out his swords and look at his right hand and say, lefty.
Yo.
What do you guys... Have you guys ever had a wielder who was cursed and then split himself in two?
Of course we have. They have to deal with us on a daily basis.
Nice one. But if you had someone who was cursed and they split themselves in two, are they still fine, or did their cursed side have their own side?
You would technically both be cursed.
But wouldn't they still have fully control over themselves and everything?
As much control as you can that the curse would allow.
George will look at Thorgrim. How well can you control your curse?
Pretty good. I don't really have any urges, and I don't randomly shift, and yeah, I got a good hand on it.
Also, that's reminded me. He'll look at the swords again. Are you guys okay with being attuned to someone else for a little bit, or are you guys some of the people who don't like being just passed around from person to person?
We don't care.
Alright. And then he'll start attuning to the boots. And attuning from the sword.
Alright. And I'll unattune from my smasher. And then when the hour is up, I'll begin attuning to the swords.
Okay.
And when that is done, Thorgrim will kind of just look at George and go, so you want to come watch, or like, in case something goes wrong, or you feeling comfortable with me just taking these?
Yeah, I'll come watch.
Alright. Thorgrim is gonna then go to he's gonna go to his room, and he's gonna go, his suite, and he's gonna go and he's gonna lead George into his unique room, which, you know, is a functioning tavern, because bar fight. And
you do, George is gonna go sit at the bar and just watch, I guess.
Yeah, grab a drink, you know, sit tight. This will be interesting. And then Thorgrim's gonna like look at the swords and go, alright, time to do your thing. And he's gonna split himself into second Thorgrim.
Okay. So, I need two things from you. Firstly,
Yeah.
I need you to explain what the two different Thorgrims look like.
Oh, Okay.
Because Jay's separation is completely roleplay based off of how he made the two sides. This was not something I implemented, so it is something I'm making you implement.
Okay. Do you mean like physical look like or like personality wise?
Personality.
Okay. I'm going to imagine that the other Thorgrim is a lot more like Thorgrim is generally a very kind and emotional person that has a lot of anger within him. And so I'm imagining when he pulls a piece of himself, he's pulling out part of the anger, part of that aggressive side. So when the second Thorgrim appears, he kind of just goes, huh, that's fucking weird. Hey, you, fight me. And Thorgrim just goes, whoa, settle down, Jesus, okay. Sure. He's kind of taken aback by the fact that the other Thorgrim appeared and is just like, hey, you square up, bitch. And I'm like, okay. And he kind of just looks at George and goes, and the look that he gives George is kind of like the look of like, maybe this is a bad idea. And he raises the swords, prepared to attack, and then as soon as he turns to look at the other Thorgrim is like leaping at him, and he's like, oh shit!
Well, now I need both Thorgrims to roll wisdom saving throws.
Cool.
Oh, God.
Okay, that was OG Thorgrim. And yep, that tracks.
Angry Thorgrim. That other Thorgrim has your amulet, and you want it back now.
Ooh, no.
Give it to me, you bitch! Oh, what? Give it what? I said give it to me! And, like, they're now full-on, like, dual sword clashing. Shit.
What do you even want, Thorgrim?
That thing's in the bag that it's mine!
Yeah, I can put two and two together. Thorgrim, at any point you can just get rid of the other copy of yourself.
Right. I will try and call the Thorgrim in.
So you merge back together?
Yep.
Yeah, you merge back together.
Okay, that I did not foresee that. That is something I didn't think about. Damn it.
That's what I was talking about.
Right.
You see George kind of twitch a little bit as he's still writing in his book.
I forgot about that. Good to know. Here you go. Thorgrim's just gonna hand the swords back. Maybe we should try that again after we get rid of these things.
And then close his book and take the swords. And he'll head back to his room.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you needed?
No, I'm good. I need to think about things. I'm gonna go have a drink. And he's gonna go sit at the bar.
Alright.
Good night.
George will head back to his room. Good night.
And I'll reattune to Smasher while I'm drinking.
And George will do the same unattuning from the boots and attuning to the swords again.
Alright.
That was going on. It's okay. Otto's gonna head over to Elvie's room, or wherever Elvie's at.
Perfect. Thank you. Elvie is currently reading a book, and will kind of look up as soon as he hears Otto knocking and say, enter.
Otto will enter to the room.
Okay. As soon as you enter, you're greeted by a very ostentatious looking room. It almost looks like when we showed off Adel's room, except the colors are a lot more verdant, lots of greens and browns, and and it looks kind of like if you were to picture like a very, very well-off druid's.
Huh. Okay.
And Ellie will look down to Otto and say, "Good evening.
Hello.
I hope you appreciate the decor. I took a while to think about it. It's been a long time since I've decided to consider what I would enjoy surrounding myself with."
Yeah, it does seem pretty nice, I guess, for what it's worth. I did have a question for you, though.
Oh, well, by all means.
How good are you at teaching?
I would imagine quite good. That was essentially one of my jobs.
Oh, well, that's good then.
I am currently being taught by one of Zardak's, by someone in Zardak's employ, but I am technically his right hand, so, well, the person that I'm being taught by, his right hand, but I would say I'm relatively good at teaching.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, do you think you could help me or teach me more about, I guess, magic in terms of bookwise magic?
Absolutely. I'm glad you asked. Elvie will find a chair and sit down near the small, it's kind of a coffee table, and sort of flip open her spell book and motion for Otto to find another chair and sit down.
Otto will do so, finding another chair and then heading over.
Forgive me, these are sized for medium-sized creatures.
As you say that, you see him doing the kid thing of just dragging the chair across the crowd.
Elvie winces slightly at the sound, but, doesn't say anything.
He'll then pull up a chair and then sit down next to him.
Now, let us begin. Shall we start with the basics, then?
Yeah, I guess that works.
Very well. Well, as you may know, that there are certain schools of magic that are the basis of all magical teachings and spell work, and Elvie's gonna start basically unloading I guess you could call it almost a college or university curriculum on, basically this is how magic works, this is what magic is, etc., and just sort of go through each school, go through everything in very explicit detail, and is going to just, as much information as Otto is willing to indulge in.
Alright. Got to make a roll for how well Otto retains this or no?
That is up to you, friend. Because it'll be up to, if we're going to do it rolls, Elvie has to roll Arcana to teach, and you'll have to roll, I guess, Insight to see how well that goes for you.
Not the best roll.
Also, I have found the best way for Adel to describe Hubert. It's not that he's evil, he lacks empathy and goes into a disassociative state and commits atrocities.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
What do you think, Phenom? Did you not hear my quote?
Yeah, I did, but who's the one that goes into a disassociative state?
Who do you think?
I said that it was Adel describing Hubert.
I'd say 50%. It's what would happen if Hubert ever got drunk.
That's not true. We've already seen Hubert drunk.
Alright, what happens when he gets drunk and Adel or Jubilee ain't around?
Like, I'm gonna use a luck point.
Are you serious? You're not gonna have that. You're not gonna have that luck point at the beginning of the new day.
Well, Okay, that's fine. I wanted to describe this anyway, so he's gonna use the splasher genius instead.
You're not gonna have that either.
Yeah,
Anything used tonight, you don't have.
Yeah, that's fine. That's as you're kind of explaining this to him, LV, you kind of see Otto's face kind of morph a little bit, and then morph again, almost as if reality is kind of warping around him as he uses his flash of genius to try to have a better understanding of what you're talking about. It seems as if he doesn't know what's happening to him. He's just kind of, in his eyes, he's just looking at you, like trying to grasp what you're saying.
Curious.
See, I really like the idea that Otto's like slowly disassociating, and then he just shakes his head to pay more attention.
Like his eyes are very slowly going off in different directions.
At one point, you do see his eyes go side to side, cross-eyed, and then outwards.
Every now and then, LV will take a finger and just sort of like make sure that Otto's following it, like, you know, trying to retain his focus.
We'll follow it every now and again.
Was that too much information at once?
I don't think it was too much information. I think it's kind of just repeating what I might already know, because I already do understand the basics of magic and whatnot, so my dad taught me at least.
Okay. So what you're looking for is a tad more advanced, yes?
I guess whatever the next step would be.
Okay. Lesson 2 then. Excellent. I was not... I am more than assured of your intelligence and your skill level. I just was not sure where to begin. Forgive me, that is probably my faux pas at just not knowing exactly where in the lesson plan to begin.
Yeah, I guess I should have clarified, but I guess it's always good to start from the beginning. Good stuff. So
I figured, since I was unsure, that I would start at the beginning and continue on. How much time do you have to listen to my lessons? Are you hoping to stay longer, or are you planning on visiting only for a little bit at a time each night?
I guess as much time as possible. I kind of just want to become more capable.
Very, very well. I shall be your tutor from now on then.
Okay.
And just so you know, a tutor usually expects a fee. And she just sort of looks at you and winks and just says, I am not one of those.
Did you say that you already see him pulling out a piece of gold?
Elby will reach down and just sort of ruffle his ears. Call it a best friend discount.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Forgive me, I was merely jesting. Anyway, let us continue. And LV will begin, we'll go back into that teacher phase and just start basically, I imagine her teaching style to be very, like she is very verbose, very matter-of-fact, very, big words, technical terms, kind of like a science professor almost.
Yeah. Essentially, after nodding off that one time, Otto will then lock in and start actually paying attention.
LV notices this and smiles, but doesn't make a point. Doesn't point it out. She just continues talking.
Alright, anybody else got anything before the end of the long rest?
Think so?
Nope.
Alright. In that case, the long rest will come to an end, and you will all get your used resources up, except for one instance of Flash of Genius for Otto.
Yee. My favorite pastime.
Sacrifice.
Using resources when they never need to be used.
Exactly. Ah, well, a sacrifice in the name of knowledge.
Like, oh, I rolled a 15, but that could be a 20.
It's on something small, like how well you're taking in like a drink or something.
You
Like-
paused at taking in at a weird spot, dude.
It's like, okay, here's a roll that you may die if you fail. Otto rolls a 2. It'll be fine. Okay, you need to roll a con save for your alcohol. You rolled a 29, Otto. I'll Flash of Genius this, just in case.
Exactly.
Priorities, man.
Don't have a good soundboard for that.
Alright. Well. It is now officially morning, and all of you are awake and able to do whatever your morning rituals are.
Hill's going to freshen up and then head to the common area to wait for everyone else. Misty will do our morning prayers and then we'll check on the Ravager.
He is still as unconscious as he has been.
You'll give him a whack with her stick of healing.
You bonk him on the head. He remains unconscious.
She looks a little confused, but just carries him around as usual.
Roger will wake up, do some a little bit of writing before freshening himself up and then heading to the common area. Looks at Beast as she's just carrying around a Ravager with a bump on his head now. Sits at a table, does not say anything.
Thorgrim is going to get up and do his morning stretches and just sort of make sure all the old man bones are, in tip-top shape before grabbing his hammer, hoisting it over his shoulder, and going to the dining hall, making sure that Rocky is very safe on top of his head.
Ribbit.
Yeah, good morning, bud. Ready to get some, I don't know, flies or something?
Ribbit.
Yeah, of course you are. And Elvie will begin with her morning prayers and her inscription of her spells. Will collect Gladstone in her arms like a child and will proceed to the meeting area.
As you all enter the common area, you actually see Zug, who somehow was convinced to come inside this evening, who is looking over the table full of food, nodding his head to the selection and stealing all the cutlery.
Beast, you'll look over. Ah, you came inside this time. She says in Goblin.
Zug has found many metals.
Yes, and you can get to many metals every time you come inside.
Metals. Zug likes metals.
Yes.
But some metals doesn't like Zug.
What? What
What the-
metals don't like Zug?
The ones that tried to kill Zug for harvesting their metals.
Oh. Yeah, me hates it when that happens.
What's this? He says pointing. He says pointing at a random food item.
That's food.
That's not food.
She'll take it and push it at its mouth. Eat it.
No.
Okay, and then she'll eat it.
Hey, there's no blood. It's clearly not food.
Not all food has blood.
All food has blood.
No, all tasty food has blood.
Huh?
Sometimes some things don't have blood, but you can still eat it. It doesn't taste as good, but it's better than nothing.
Like rocks?
No,
Aw, Zug likes rocks.
don't eat rocks.
But Zug likes rocks.
Do you like your metal goblin things?
Yes.
Do you eat them?
He ponders the question and looks to them as he rubs his chin and says, no, Zug would not eat them.
There you go. And she gives him a thumbs up.
The Thorgrim will sort of just lean over to whoever is beside him, doesn't even pay attention to who it is, and goes, "Holy shit! She just used logic." I think goblin logic.
I was unaware you could speak Goblin.
Well, I didn't understand exactly what they were saying, but like they were clearly like arguing about something, and then Zug quieted down, almost like he was talked down about something. Like
They were arguing about whether or not Zug could eat rocks.
And Beastie said what?
Use the logic that he doesn't eat the metal goblins, so he shouldn't eat rocks.
Holy shit! Thorgrim will look at Beastie and just give a thumbs up.
Beastie will look back, look a bit confused, and give a thumbs up.
And LV is intentionally seated next to Otto, and as she's eating a delicious salad, she will continue the lesson.
Otto will listen as he's just kind of just writing things down now. Sure.
Zug will get fascinated with Otto again, as he is still 100% convinced that Otto is just a fuzzy goblin.
Fuzzy gobble.
So,
Hi?
Zug will just slowly nibble on something that Beastie has given him and continues to stare.
Otto kind of slowly pulls head back over to listening to Elfie. Were you saying something, Jubilee?
oh, I was gonna say Jubilee kind of enters yawning still, as she's just transcribing before bed again. And takes a seat at whatever seat's open, not knowing who she's sitting next to.
Well, as per usual, she's able to sit next to Hubert.
Hubert is standing.
I might have an idea. George says.
What's your idea, George?
Do we have anything pressing I want to talk to the Ravager about?
Not really.
Alright.
Were you going to wake him up?
No, I was going to go into his dreams.
Well, maybe his dreams are the reason why he's still asleep.
I mean, could be.
If you head in there, be prepared to face something incredibly violent.
I mean, it's more or less I kind of just appear as a messenger in his dream, and it kind of just, unless he's really fucked in the head, I can kind of just shape the environment any way I want it to.
Well, nothing comes to mind as to a reason as to not try.
Alright, then no need to do it then. And then let's go back to eating.
Right. Elle eats her own breakfast, and when she's done, she'll just wait for the others to finish theirs.
DM, how many pages was Jubilee able to transcribe this time?
I don't know, 20.
Just plops the papers on the table, then plops head on the table.
It'll add the transcript to the previous transcript.
I think that's like her biggest pile yet for you.
I think I'm going to have to start drugging her to put her to bed at a reasonable hour.
Maybe.
I was on a roll, but I couldn't stop myself.
I'll definitely have to start drugging you.
You know there's an easier way.
Is there?
Just ask.
No, that's far too inconvenient.
You just literally want an excuse to do stuff to me.
Just to put you to sleep.
Anyways. She rubs her eyes a bit. Yeah. Seems like the next few pages were pretty easy considering. Excuse me. A lot of words were being repeated, so I guess that means I'm starting to get a little faster. I have no idea how far in the book I am, though.
Not very.
It groans in frustration.
You know you can tell her no, and you can try to get out of the work, correct?
But I'm doing really well.
Then enjoy your suffering.
Yeah. Idle. Hubert's bullying me.
When is he not?
Oh. If you wish me to take a break from this, I will.
I don't recall telling you to not take a break.
Well. I think the next night we bed down, I'm gonna just go to bed a little earlier that night then.
Probably should.
Where's the priest?
He'll squint and will look around.
He is not in the dining hall right now.
He'll stand. I didn't see him enter the mansion last night. Oh boy. And she's gonna head
Galodius,
for the exit.
did you enter the mansion last night?
Yeah, but he was very quiet and focusing on his own stuff. The guy just faded into the background.
Alas, Ale does not know this, so she's going to check outside.
And you will find nothing because he is not outside.
Not true. You
What?
will find a ship and 5 people standing outside.
Is that No, that's not Rodriguez. Who is that? Ale look before looking to the others. Someone's out here.
George will take out his swords and head outside.
Ale gesture
We have
for
to
him
automatically assume it's enemies.
Yeah, Ale gesture for him to sheath the swords as she heads out. I think they might be
Did just
friendly.
repair a lighthouse after all.
Thorgrim takes a big drink of his dwarven rum, hoists his hammer over his shoulder, and then just like very slowly puts the hammer back down.
Alright. Ale's going to head over. Is this
As-
someone that she has seen before?
No.
Alright.
As you walk over, the two pirates closest to you notice you approach, and very subtly reach, pulling out flintlock pistols. They aren't aiming them at you, but in case you turn violent, you can tell that they are prepping themselves for a fight.
Ella raise her hands up like in her typical I'm not a threat manner. We're not here to fight. Just want to talk.
I just gotta step out and also see what's going on. Does George recognize this person at all?
Yes, actually.
Oh. Do I need to roll anything, or do I just recognize him?
Roll a history, just for fun.
I swear if
How
that's
well do you
Rodriguez.
recognize him?
Can't really tell by the token what they are.
17.
George, you recognize him as Quartermaster Hawken Brineborn. He is a dwarven pirate who is the quartermaster, which, in case you don't know terminology, means he is the second in command to the ship.
So, what's his name one more time? Can you fill it out?
Hawken, Hawken, Brineborn, Brineborn.
As it sounds, basically.
Oh.
But the quartermaster to what?
The second in command
the
of...
pirate ship.
Brineborn.
Okay, let me rephrase. The second in command to who?
Good question.
Would George know who he's second in command to, or no?
Roll another history.
22.
He is the quartermaster to pirate captain Resolved Montague.
Resolved Montague?
Resolved.
We never knew his first name, but he's Montague's second in command.
I don't think it's the same Montague.
And George, Resolved Montague is someone you know very well.
Oh. Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh no.
And he is the captain of the Devil's Contract, which is his ship, which is floating in the bay.
Anything we can do for you, gentlemen?
The pirate closest will look over his shoulder and goes, "Quartermaster!" And you see the dwarf look over before moving close to you all, hobbling on a peg leg as he looks looks up to you, crossing his arms, and then looks to the lighthouse and nods to it and says, "I'm assuming ye are responsible for lighting that."
Yes.
We appreciate it. We were lost in the fog last night, and I reckon we would have crashed our ship if not for the lighthouse.
Well, I'm glad that we were able to help you, even if indirectly.
Nothing the little repair couldn't handle.
Though, I do have to question, why are ye so far in these lands? It ain't exactly a good place for adventurers.
We're searching for something. What about you? What are you doing so far up north in these waters?
We were hunting, under contract for the king. Unfortunately, we didn't find what we were looking for.
The king? King of the pirates, you mean?
Aye.
What were you hunting for?
He thinks about it for a minute and says, "I don't reckon I can give you that."
Fair enough. Well,
If the captain wants to let you know, he'll let you know.
oh, maybe we met your captain before. What's the name?
At this, he sort of side-eyes George as he sees him standing in the back before looking back at you and goes, "Resolved."
Captain Resolved. Not a name that comes to mind. And she looks at the others. Anyone else heard of Captain Resolved?
Turn around and you see George kind of just... It's been a while since you've seen him look enraged, but he looks like he is about to burst at the moment. Like that close to his fight with the paladin burst.
George, is there something that I should know?
I'm going back into the mansion.
Okay. And she looks back to her.
Must be one of those moody situations.
Have you met George before, Hawken?
Something like that, aye.
Would you care to clarify?
Let's just say he and the captain don't get along particularly well.
It's not going to become a situation where we become enemies because of that, is it?
I reckon that depends on the lad.
If it makes you feel any better, we'll do our best to keep things peaceful then.
No skin off my back either way. I'm just gonna follow what the captain wants.
Would it be possible for me to talk to your captain?
If a need decides to come off the ship, aye.
Did he say why or hi?
I-A-Y-E, as in, if he comes off the ship, sure, you can talk to him.
Did he look like he was going to?
Honestly, he's very fickle. I can't really tell you one way or another if he's going to.
Very well. Then I'll turn. I need to go speak with George. Hubert, Hubert, you make sure that's the quartermaster has anything he needs, or if we can help him with anything.
Understood. And probably by this time when you come back in, you'll probably see Skillius at the table.
Hello, Scalodius.
Good morning. Oh, sorry. Slept in a little bit last night. I admittedly didn't sleep well at all, but I did sleep and had a lot on my mind, so I apologize for coming out late.
I was a little worried about you, Scalodius. I thought you didn't enter into the mansion with us.
Well, I did. I guess nobody noticed that I did. My apologies. Should have made my presence a little more obvious.
Well, it's not like you to not to hide your presence either way.
wasn't attempting to, but I guess with a lot on my mind, I've been just a lot quieter.
You'll observe him for a moment. I'll get back to you on that, priest. Scavodius. For now, everyone is waiting outside.
Does it have to do with our friend huffing and stomping his way back in here?
Yes. Which way did he go?
Points the direction, whatever direct. Points towards his room.
Yeah, we'll head on over. We'll knock on the door.
You get no reply, but you just hear scribbling.
George, I know you're in there. We need to talk.
You just hear more scribbling.
Oh, Simon will open the door.
He is currently just writing into his book.
George?
He does not reply.
I'll walk over and stand in front of him. Or behind him. Where is he? Is he on his bed? On his chair?
He's on his chair. He's just been looking at his book and just writing.
Right. I was going to head over, and we'll just stand next to him. George? I need you to talk to me here.
As you look, you see he is just writing. I'm just going to write it down. He's writing that phrase over and over in the book.
Ruthlessness is... oh boy. I'll look to this and then we'll rest our hand on George's writing hand.
I guess that you see that I guess you can feel that his hands are visibly shaking.
It'll try to lift his hand off the book to stop him writing.
He'll stop and he'll jerk a little bit and almost look as if he was summoning his sword out, but then he sees that it's you and he'll stop.
He'll take the book, we'll shut down place on the desk, then we'll look down to him. What's going on, George?
Do you know how pacts work with warlocks?
I do.
And obviously you know mine is with my mom.
Yes.
Their captain is the reason why I'm in a pact with my mom.
Can you explain, please?
A while ago, when I was maybe around a young adult teenager, my mother sent me on a mission to the Pirate Kingdom to pick up trading goods. During that time, I had already gotten over what had happened to... Well, I didn't really get over it, but I had... Essentially, I gotten through the grieving process over my dad, and essentially got to... was there. I mean, if you could believe it, I acted more like Otto did when I was younger. And my first mission was at the Pirate Kingdom, pick up trading goods for Haven.
Okay.
During that time there, that was when I met Rezold. And he kind of stops for a second and kind of just looks down at the floor.
Sorry,
He was the first person. He kind of stops talking for a second, looks down at the floor.
He's the first person that's what?
He's the first person I've ever hated.
Why?
He insulted my father and my mother. He said that my dad was weak and a coward. He said that my mother was making the biggest mistake of her life to be with a man like that.
You're all Francis. I see.
After that, I decided to fight him, and he nearly killed me. The only reason I'm standing here today is because my mother interfered in that fight and put me in a pact.
Oh, not slowly. Well, that explains your anger towards him. But
I still lost that fight, Adel. He said the only reason I'm still going to live is because this will be a lesson that will stay with you for the rest of your life. And this, and he opens up the book to show this, was the last thing he said to me before knocking me out.
Ruthlessness is mercy, huh? Well, that certainly explains your reaction. How long ago did this happen?
10 years ago.
I see. Well, Joel take a seat on the table and looked up. What do you want to do?
Don't ask me that.
Well, I'm asking you.
You wouldn't like my answer.
Doesn't mean I'm not asking you.
Fine. I don't want to give you my answer.
That's fine. That's your choice. But I can't help you if you don't give me your answer.
I want to kill him, Adel. I want him to suffer, and then I want him to die.
Why?
Because no man like that deserves to talk about my family and get away with it. And put me through so much, giving me a scar and a permanent lesson that I have yet to get over no matter what I do.
Well, the way how I see it, there are two things you can do at this instance. Well, three, technically. You can prove him right, but it comes down to you can prove him right or you can prove him wrong.
And how do you think I do that?
Well, you basically said that you're weak, that your father was weak, and that, your mother was making a mistake loving you as well as loving him. And I think proving him right would be by being weak and disappointing your mother. And let's be perfectly honest here, George, we both know that neither of those things are the case. So you're not going to be proving him right anytime soon. You can prove him wrong in a number of ways. You can kill him, like you said. But would that be what your mother wants? Would that be what... Well, I'm sure it's what's a part of you wants. Maybe what all of you wants. I'm not quite sure if it's what you need. What you need, I feel, is to prove to yourself that you're not afraid of him anymore. I don't necessarily think killing him is going to do that. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I think a couple of things will. And she raises 2 fingers. One is walking away. He has no control over you anymore. You exile him from your mind and he is nothing underneath you because you know that you have more important things to worry about. 2, you beat him.
Yeah, what was that third one you were mentioning?
Oh yeah, the third one was basically telling him that his mom's a hoe.
Both LV and Thorgrim look at Adel with like, huh?
We Drow are not above insulting each other's mother.
Because from what I'm hearing here, and from how I've seen other people speak about your father and your mother, it honestly sounds to me like he's just jealous. And he took it out on you. That's not the first time that's happened.
Could also just be an asshole.
I mean, both things work. So ultimately, what we do here is up to you. Well, if you are going to fight, and I suggest asking for a one-on-one rather than pulling everyone into a group fight.
Oh. Think about it.
Oh no, I get up. Well, whatever you decide to do, I'll wait outside.
Alright.
I'll start to go, but then we'll stop. Actually, I think there's one thing you need to recognize about Mr. Montague. Who is he in relation to Rodriguez?
Would yours know that?
Roll a history.
What seeds?
From your memory, he is Rodriguez's adopted son.
Listen here, you little shit.
His adopted son.
I see. So a young man that has been adopted by the king of the pirates comes across another son of someone that is significantly stronger than himself, and he decides to either use him to push his ego, or maybe he is just trying to teach you a lesson as a way to help you. Either way, I think you should keep that in mind when you go to face him again. Everyone has a reason for doing what they're doing, even beyond just face value.
Or he could just be a little shit.
Maybe. Now I head it back out to the others. Oh wait, hold up. She'll go by Scalodius. Yeah, we'll have to have that talk later, Scalodius.
Sclodus will nod and finish up its meal. Just know, young lady, that I am okay.
I'll peer over at Scalodius. I want to believe you.
We're getting near to the point where I'm gonna either find closure in my life or find an ending. Either way, I'm comfortable with it.
Well, if you're comfortable with it.
Doesn't just because I'm losing a little bit of sleep over it doesn't mean I'm troubled. More so, I'm anxious or excited. I'm not sure which.
I kind of know how you feel then.
You have more important things to worry about anyway than this old man.
Eda will take out her fire staff and will crack him over the head with it.
Ow.
Don't say that again.
What, this old man?
The other half of that sentence.
I'm not saying I don't appreciate being thought of. Just that you've got more important
She'll raise up the staff.
worry about. I would not do that if I were you. Accept an old man's wisdom for once.
Well, accept a young woman's. Don't place the importance of yourself underneath others.
I'm not. I'm merely saying you have other things to prioritize right at this moment.
That is what you should have been saying before, old man. And she'll lower the staff.
If you let me finish, you young impatient whippersnapper.
Okay.
You guys are having this conversation. George is just going to step outside the mansion.
I'm not getting involved in this.
He just steps outside the mansion.
What does he say?
He doesn't say anything. He kind of just steps past and goes outside the mansion.
Right.
I was doing his inner monologue of, I'm not getting involved in this.
I'll push her staff away and we'll follow along behind him.
Eventually, Skillos will join once he's finished his meal.
Alright. He'll stand there and we'll just give a glance over to George.
Ghibli will lean over and whisper to Adel, everything good?
We're about to find out.
I'll be on standby.
George will kind of look at Hawken and will say, I would like to speak to your captain.
I would like to speak to your manager.
He's already told me not to bother him. If he wants to come out, he'll come out. But I reckon you ain't gonna have to wait long if he decides to come.
Well, then good. 'Cause he owes me something. George just sit by and wait then.
So how you been, boy?
Fine. You still licking his boots?
He is my captain. I ain't got much of a choice now, do I?
It was always just mutiny.
And the up of the wrath of Rodriguez? I don't think so.
Sorry, didn't mean to click that. I was checking to see if I could cast it on other people.
Oh.
Let George have a megaphone for a moment. Hey, bitch!
Other than that, I've been okay. How has the rest of your crew been?
Been alright. We lost someone to the Kraken last night, but or at least to a Kraken. At least I think it was a Kraken.
Or something. Okay, thank God. Oh, I'm sorry for your loss.
This line of work, it happens.
People dying or being killed without a second thought isn't really the best thing.
Unfortunately, it's the life we live. We know that we could die any moment. For example, you could lose your control now and kill everyone here.
You really think I'd do that?
He just looks at you and watches you for a really long time and says, I think you should ask me a different question, lad.
I want your honesty. You really think I'm that angry that I would just go out and just kill everyone here?
Hey. In fact, I think you'd do it without a second thought.
Then you don't know me at all.
I know you got a look in your eyes, one filled with hate. That's really all I'm basing this off of.
Yeah, and even though it's hate, that hate is centered towards one person, not bystanders. That hatred could go towards you if you decide to do anything to my friends here, but you haven't, so for now you're fine.
So long as they don't try to attack me or my crew, I have no reason to attack them. And at this point, you all begin hearing the footfalls of boots on top of the deck of the ship. As this figure comes at the top of the ramp, looking over the crowd, a smile on his lips as he looks over everything. And slowly begins coming down the ramp. Well, well, well. I suppose it's all thanks to you that this lighthouse is burning and allowed us to come to a stop here, he says, wading through the water and coming up.
He'll look to him. I will nod.
Need you to speak up there, bud.
Ada will look to him and nod. Yes, I am. Well, we are.
And I assume the regally dressed one is the leader of this nice little entourage.
I am.
Pleasure to meet you. I am Rizald Montague. And George, he has not looked your way once.
Well, Rizald Montague. My
You
name
need to
is...
speak up, bud.
Well, Rizald Montague. My name is Adel Sarday.
I believe I've heard of you. I think you've met my father, haven't you?
I have.
Wonderful man, isn't he?
He is.
Well, I know it happened by chance, but I feel like you deserve a reward for helping us get to land. It allowed us to recuperate our water and food supply for our trip back home.
Well, if you are going to be offering a reward, I do know there is something I would want from you.
Oh,
Yes. I want you to have a conversation with him. And she points over to George.
he just looks slowly at George and says, "Hello, Angel."
Greetings, devil.
How have you been?
Better than the years have been to you.
You look like you've gotten stronger.
And you still look the same.
He just smiles and spreads his arms and says, "Unlike some people, I can maintain my youth."
And
It means I'm always at my peak.
That's one way to look at it, I guess. But, if I may, I do need something from you, though.
I am happy to give assistance I can offer, but I am on a bit of a time crunch.
Oh, well, that should be easy. Step forward. I want an apology.
At this, you just see him smile as he slowly covers his mouth to hide the fact that he is snickering. I don't think so. As far as I'm concerned, I've done nothing to you deserving of an apology.
That's a shame. I thought you were at your peak. And yet, here you seem to have a faulty memory.
Woohoo! Spicy.
From what I remember, I gave you some advice that you look like you've taken to heart. I see that hatred burning in your eyes.
I know about the lesson, but that's not the apology I'm talking about. I want an apology for what you said about my mother and my father.
I'm afraid I can't offer that one either.
And why is that?
Why would I apologize in something I believe in? Your father fought as a last resort. He was a coward. He always avoided confrontation.
Because that is strength in and of itself.
Oh,
In my travels of getting stronger, I've learned that violence isn't exactly the best first resort. I found that negotiation is better first.
not right.
Yep. So, in that case, here's the negotiation. You either apologize for what you said to about my mother and my father, or I beat it out of you.
At this, you all see the other pirates draw their flintlocks with Hawken, just slowly rolling his eyes but uncrossing his arms.
Not with everyone else here, just between me and you. If what you said is what you believe in, and you're on a time crunch, this should take no time at all. Or are you a coward just like my father, like you say?
He just snickers to this and says, "Very clever. Trying to use my tricks against me. Maybe you got it. Maybe you have a little double blood in you after all. But I'm on a mission. I'm sure you know how patron contracts work. I don't have time, because according to my contract, the mission I was given was to get back as soon as possible. I can't go breaking my patron's trust, now can I?"
Get back where? Asked Adel.
Back to Rodriguez. I have to give him my report.
He's your patron?
Aye. What a wonderful patron he's been to me.
If you win, I will get you there. Instantaneously. Via a spell.
But that wouldn't be as quickly as possible if I have to spend time fighting, now would it?
Can you get there instantly? If you don't?
Aye. But we have to just sail just a little ways out, he says, pointing to the sea. We have a teleportation circle out in the waters that can get me there as quickly as I need to.
Yes, you just have to sail a little bit forward past another kraken.
Aye. I failed to your point, though.
Oh, I guess you didn't see the turtle dragon, did you?
He just watches it. He just watches you, locking his fingers together, and says, "You are understanding that you are taking my time from me, yes?"
Well, I mean, if according to your pact you have to get there as soon as possible, and that means that you have to make the foolish decision of fighting a kraken and a turtle dragon, and who knows what else is out there, compared to the certainty. Yes, compared to the certainty of having to only fight George.
But there's just as likely a chance I don't have to fight any of them. He just raises an eyebrow, whereas there is certainty that I'd have to waste time fighting him. I think I'll take my chances with the clear waters.
Wouldn't have been much of a fight anyway, I guess.
I agree.
Rodriguez raised a bitch.
I agree. Wouldn't have been much of a fight. He just looks to you with a smile, because you don't look that much stronger than you were.
Oh, I said my thing in character, by the way.
I know. He's just ignoring you.
Fair enough.
Oh, that's funny.
I guess you're right, George. Paul Masters is kind of better, isn't he?
Always has been.
Oh well. Let's go then.
I will get that apology from you one day.
See?
No, it's a guarantee.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't bother George. The way he talks, I could probably take him. I'm not saying something.
She'll pause. How would your father react if we had a friend of Poe Masters that he cared about deeply and you did nothing to take him from us?
My father has no issue against any of Poe Master's friends.
Fair enough. Good on him. Alright. Well, we had the place we had to go to the southeast, right?
Yeah, because that's where we were trying to get to, and we passed it up.
Well, we'll go on foot this time. Less likely we'll miss it now.
You just take let out a deep sigh.
I'll just pat him on the
You
back.
just kind of put a hand on his shoulder. Sorry, I couldn't help you.
As you all walk away, you hear Resolve call, "All of you have safe travels now. You don't know what's lurking out there," and heads back to his ship.
Same to you.
Try not to drown.
Want to blow a ship apart?
Don't.
No. Yeah, don't bother. He's really not worth it. He seems like he talks a bigger game than he lets on at this point.
No, he doesn't.
Is that why you mistrusted me when we first met?
He'll kind of just look at you and he'll just kind of shrug and say, "I'm sorry."
That's kind of racist.
Well, you kind of were the first tiefling I interacted with after that, so
That's still
Doesn't
very
ex-
racist.
Like I said, I apologize.
I'm just messing with you, George. Seriously though, that guy is not. At least I hope you know now. That guy is not the standard for my type.
No, I know. I just don't think it's worth underestimating him.
I swear the guy seemed to have a Napoleon complex.
To be honest, I used to act the same way when I first got into a pact with my mother.
Yeah, but you grew up. Doesn't look like he did.
Barney wanted me to force him to fight, but...
Well, he'll only fight when it's on his terms, I'm guessing.
Nah, just have to ask Rodriguez Montague for it.
Rodriguez.
He's gotta get Daddy's permission.
What did you say, Hubert?
Rodriguez Carmela Montague.
I said what I said.
Yes, but if you wish him to use your full title, it would show some respect to use his.
What is my full title at this point? I'm no longer a princess of the Dwarven Empire. I mean,
But
the
you are-
the Drow Empire.
But you are a princess. You are still a princess, so...
I don't want people to call me princess.
George will kind of crack a smile real quick.
No, he has friends that were ready to back him up.
Is he already taken off, or is he still walking back to his ship?
He is at the top of the ramp of his ship.
Oh boy.
George is gonna walk over to
There we go.
look over to the edge of this thing. He's then going to look into his bag. Correct me if I'm wrong if we don't have this, because I'm pretty sure we have this. He's then going to pull out the Warlock amulet.
Ooh.
Okay.
And Montague,
He stops and
Oh,
slowly
Lord.
looks over his shoulder.
he'll hold up the amulet. And he'll say, "This will mean that I am always better than you.
Oh.
Because this means a real demon actually acknowledged me."
Then put it on.
Duh.
Just so I know you're a dumb fuck. You don't even know where we are. This shit don't even work here.
Then put it on. If it don't work, you have nothing to fear.
Oh, no. I think you misunderstand, sir. He has nothing to fear. But if he puts it on, you would. That's the problem.
He just watches you both, and you can tell by the gleam in his eyes, he seems to recognize what that is.
Oh, that tells me something entirely different. This guy whispers to George, he knows what that is.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
And as long as if you remain the coward you are,
How does he
will
know
always
that?
mean that I am better than you.
He then does a hand motion that just seems to be saying, "Go on."
Hubert,
Yes.
be ready.
You attack God?
To stop George.
Just had to make sure.
If he reaches for it, Jubilee will grab his hand and be like,
No.
he's not worth it.
Hubert is just waiting. He's not doing anything.
Is it time to be reckless or time to actually have George have a... Actually, no, wait, what was I saying? Is it time to have George
gonna
have
say, I
a
hope
very
you
drastic
roll-
character development?
have supportive friends. Think rationally.
Thank God. Okay.
Friendship wins.
As George kind of looks down at the amulet, he kind of goes to. He looks like he's about to try to put on for a second, but then another George pops up and stops his hand. He ain't worth that. He ain't worth disappointing Mom. We'll take a deep breath. Back into one. Put it back in his bag.
At this, you hear claps coming from the top of the ship ramp as Rizal says, "I'm proud of you. Sticking to your own guns."
Don't you have a daddy to run off to?
I'll tell you what, George. After I'm done, if you ever find your way to the pirate capital, I'll give you your duel there.
Fine by me.
He'll walk down before holding his hand out towards you. Deal?
I don't do deals with demons.
I'm not a demon.
Then I should be able to take you at your word.
He continues holding his hand out. I'm just a tiefling boy. I don't have any of them deal binding magic.
George will shake his hand.
He shakes his hand up once, down once, and says, "Now, do travel safe. I look forward to our duel."
I'm just gonna check. He still has the amulet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was gonna look at the hand that he shakes. Does it look any different or anything, or just his hand?
Like your hand.
Alright, you will start walking.
All right.
So we gather up. I suppose I'm ready to do my spell.
There's too many of us.
That's true.
We're going on foot.
Forgot about our new companion.
As the conversation goes on, Zug will have been scratching his head with his hammer as he looks to Beastian and goes, "Why are they making so many weird noises?"
Because they're talking, she says in Goblin.
They can talk?
Yes. They're just not speaking Goblin.
Yeah, they're not talking.
They are talking.
He just watches you, squints his eyes. He doesn't seem to believe you.
Beastie will be fine with this. She understands the difficulty of understanding it.
Understands understanding and how understanding is hard.
Yes.
What are you guys gonna do?
Head southeast.
Alright.
Towards the object.
It's a building, not an object. Sure. Everything's going wrong!
Oh, no.
Map is clear.
Do you want
So I
to
was not
swap?
expecting the lyrics.
Do you want to swap the song now?
Oh, yeah.
Good old DJ. I was not expecting that drastic of a fucking shit.
Yeah. It was good though, it fit.
Alright.
Hmm?
Feel free to move your token anytime, Phenomeno.
Wait, the building was southeast, right?
Was it?
Don't do this to me. Okay, do I have to
We
roll
had
a
to skip a
history?
week too. Come on.
Yeah,
Yes, it was Southie.
thank you.
Technically, we skipped a week and a half because I ended the session before that early.
Even more reason to give us a break.
I don't have to give you guys a break.
Break what?
So that's the walking. George is gonna say, hey Adel,
Yes, George?
remember the favor I was gonna ask you about once we're done with the whole Puppet Master thing?
What favor would that be?
That was the favor.
To fight him?
I guess get an apology from him.
Ah.
Initially was going to be fighting him, but yeah. Also, thank you. I don't know if I said that yet.
She'll nod. You're welcome, George.
George will split himself and be like, I still think we should have just fucking killed him. Will you shut the fuck up?
Easier walk over to the between the Georges. So is that gonna be a thing now?
No, I think a part of me, in order to kind of form into one, is still extremely upset that we didn't just fight him.
You are arguing with yourself and losing.
I'll get over it. Eventually, that'll stop happening. I hope.
Phenomena.
Okay.
Oh boy. We're back in the trauma forest, boys.
Yay,
God.
my favorite place.
The place where Tauntaun got spit out again, where Jubilee got kidnapped by the puppeteer, where we fought Hunter, what's his face, Sigma or something?
Hey,
George almost got murdered by Hubert.
This is also the forest where I'm fairly. No, wait, that happened in town. Never mind.
Yeah, nothing good ever happens here.
So, what's the trauma this time?
Someone gonna die.
Someone's always dying in this campaign.
Usually it's me.
True. So, Anil's going to look around. Since they were able to see the object from so far away, it should be pretty big, no?
Roll a perception.
Oh boy.
Here I go killing again.
Here I go being blind again. Oh, never mind.
This is why you ask your Watcher Paladin to do perception checks.
Okay. Let's see. Sorry, I'm having to do stuff. Through the tree line, you can see that it is still a ways away. However, it is slowly but steadily getting darker. Due to the fact that you aren't traveling at a faster speed, it takes about a day per tile to move.
Alright, Gloom Hollow. Get your mansion ready.
I feel like we should try at least scouting the area first before we use the mansion.
I suppose that's a good idea. Hubert,
Yes,
please scout out the area.
of course.
I'm just gonna.
Hubert will wander off for a minute before returning a few seconds later and says, I have a bad feeling that I'm not going to adequately do the job.
Why?
I don't know. I went to investigate, and for some reason I cannot focus.
You can't focus.
He rolled a crit failure.
Oh, I thought it was a thing where, like, I don't know, the ADHD totem was somewhere in the forest somewhere.
Hey, I am the ADHD totem here.
That's one of the things. Like, yeah, I got a bad feeling about this place, so I ain't scouting.
Okay,
I mean-
bro, what the hell?
I mean, I do know that there's something like that's like, oh yeah, this thing causes fear if you get close to it. But maybe it's like, yeah, this thing causes ADHD if you get close to it. Be careful.
No, he
ADHD.
he rolled a nat 1, so he failed his check.
Alright.
I'm trying to do some scouting.
Alright, just yell if you see anything of concern.
Okay.
Beastie
No,
I see
I'll
something of
bring-
great concern.
We'll bring Hoppy along and we'll start going forward.
You think it was a smart idea to send him? Oh, I guess the goblin's going with him.
Yeah, don't worry. The resident mom is with him. Scalodius,
Also, yes.
can you please follow them too?
Okay.
We'll kind of look about. Look at there's two pathways. Flips a coin.
Well, they're still within sight of
Goes
us.
right. And does he see anything out of the ordinary yet, or is he Just look
You'll have to-
spooky forest.
You'll have to roll perception to see anything out of the ordinary.
It also has copy to look around as well.
No advantage.
Yep.
But he's not
Still
doing it for
up
advantage.
to-
He's just asking Hoppy to do it as well.
Oh, Beastie did say she. Well, I did say Beastie will help, so you should have
Oh,
the
okay.
help action.
Lois is just bodyguard.
Because originally, Otto was also going to suffer from the I cannot focus.
The motherfucking ADHD totem is real. What the fuck is wrong with this forest?
I told you it was me.
What are you doing, Matt? Turn it off!
I can't.
It's like the Orb of Confusion from SpongeBob SquarePants.
Walks into
So
the
we're
forest.
just not talking
I
about
can't
what's in the
remember.
ship posting, huh?
No, why would we talk about that?
Let's see if hopefully Hoppy doesn't have ADHD as a canon. Okay, thank God.
The robot just looking at the humans. Stupid meat bags.
Hoppy, while doing a more successful scan of the area, Otto, you drop your coin, which causes you to start reaching down to pick it up. However, Hoppy sees a very, very dim light over in this branch of trees.
Oh. In that case, Hoppy will point over to in that direction and say, dim light. Oh. Good. Good job, Hoppy.
Hoppy will give a thumbs up.
Points to Scalodius, dim light. Excuse me?
Dim.
Otto will quickly step back and start doing a bunch of random gestures trying to signify that there's a light in that direction, and then we'll start going.
Roll sleight of hand. Adel, roll insight.
Adel?
Yes, because he's signaling to you.
Oh, it's pretty in sync.
Alright, you're not entirely sure everything, but you know that Otto has seen something and he's going to investigate it.
Alright.
Is that he's gonna start heading over.
Milady,
Yes.
why didn't you send me?
You're not durable.
Oh, goddamn.
Don't hate her because she's right, Jubilee.
Oof.
Well, goddamn!
I'm heading over, and
That's
not going into.
real punching bag now.
I hate the shape of these trees.
Why?
It just looks scary to me.
Yeah.
But
I
Oh,
mean,
so
it's a scary forest.
I know, but it's like this trees look like it. Like this area here just looks like it's like a bunch of spiders just sitting there. I don't know why.
It's
Little
the
buddy
forest.
boy
I don't
has
see it.
arachnophobia.
It's
Oh, that's the other event that happened here. The spider thing.
Oh yeah. When Zardak's metal spider came to collect what's her
different
face?
spider.
Oh.
Different spider.
No, fleshy spider, not metal one.
It was the thing that was drinking Poemaster's magic and then casting spells at you.
Ah.
Nom nom.
Yeah.
That's the event we forgot.
Shows up here, but I was gonna try to look closer at the dim light.
Roll investigation.
She will provide assistance.
When I say Evan.
You
What
see,
is that?
you see a small figure sitting next to a lamp, and the figure is
That's a kobold.
Is that fucking Mew?
is currently taking a bite out of something and attempting to tear a large portion of it off. They appear to be eating.
That's fucking Mewtwo. I see it.
What the? What?
Does it look like a it's like a kobold?
It does look like a kobold.
Why does it have such massive thighs?
Because sexy art. That's why.
Otto will.
Look, I am. This is the least lewd one I could find. You're gonna have to deal with it.
Otto will pull out a ration and will just say, hello, in common.
As you speak, the figure immediately turns, holding the lantern up and brandishing their sword as they stare at you.
Otto will brandish his ration. I think I'm offering food.
Roll persuasion.
Oh God, no! I will use a luck point. I hate luck points.
Yeah. On the plus side, you do get to choose which number you want to use.
Yeah, he'll use the 9 in Flash of Genius.
Man, this is apparently the forest of confusion.
This is a land of confusion.
14.
The kobold will watch you for a while, and will take a couple steps forward before pointing the sword at the ration and then pointing it at the ground.
Otto will then set the ration on the ground in front of him.
The kobold will then make a hand motion as if demanding you start stepping backwards.
Are you alright, little one?
Take a step back.
The priest will say in Draconic.
He now points her sword at you.
It's alright. We're not here to start any fights. Are you by yourself?
They continue to hold the sword out before making a motion for you to step backwards. They do not appear to want to talk to a stranger.
Not even a Draconic looking one?
Doesn't seem to be.
Priest! Whisper yells Beast. Put down food!
I do have honey. Scolus will sit down and place the jar of blue blood honey right in front of him.
No, priest!
And
You
you'll
have to
sit-
put it down, then go back.
I think she wants you to back up.
Oh, I know.
Otto will then kind of signal I'm not with him and will step over to the side.
And again, in Draconic. What's your name?
He continues not to answer and will not continue to approach. One still doesn't seem like she's ready to trust you since you just first met.
That's fine. I will wait. And then he'll take his weapons and toss them to the side so he can't reach them.
I feel like you really suck at trust exercises. He's saying that to Scalodius.
Galodius just keeps looking in the direction of the kobold, but not in a stern way. Just more or less holding his ground, but not in a hostile way.
Priest!
Any chance I can roll for Scalodius then? Because Scalodius had not rolled this entire time.
No, roll persuasion.
Best at it, but no, it's still better than Otto.
Oddles was technically a 14 with the Flash of Genius.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But again, he disarmed himself and put the weapons at a point. He is at the Kobold's mercy if she attacks.
It takes a while, and eventually they take a few more steps forward, but they stop, now eyes darting between the food and all of you, as this appears to be as comfortable, as close as they are comfortable to get at the moment.
Are you willing to talk with us? We don't need anything from you. I just want to talk.
The kobold will, in response to the question of being asked what they want, will point the sword to the food.
If I take the food to you, is everything going to be fine?
She shakes her head no.
All right.
Doesn't appear she wants you close to her yet.
Understandable. Would it make you more comfortable if a few of these other people left?
She shakes her head no.
Okay. Eloise will then continue to sit on the ground waiting.
Oh, bother.
I can have something harmless bring the food to you. That would be helpful.
No. Let her take her time. Maybe send Hoppy to report back to our friends and make sure that there's someone a little skittish and that we should be gentle.
Okay. Bobby, can you go tell them that we found somebody and she's kind of scared of us at the moment?
Hoppy will give a thumbs up.
And he'll eventually head back over to go tell Adel what happened.
Oh, listen.
Yeah, right now Scullius is locked in on trying to comfort this possible child.
Oh, listen to this.
Scullius, can I provide you some context here?
Please.
You're a 6'4" dragonborn sitting in front of food that the kobold half your size wants.
And they are allowed to take it. I've set it so they can grab it without me interfering. And I'm disarmed, so I cannot possibly hurt them.
You will then point at his teeth.
They have every advantage against me.
You then point at your claws and your teeth.
The residential dragonborn forgets he has a breath weapon.
Adel's going
Still
to
trying.
walk on over and we'll look at the scene.
You will see a kobold notice your approach, pointing the sword at you and taking a couple steps back.
Oh,
Scullius will raise a hand. Please refrain from stepping close.
Adel's going to look to the kobold. How old does it look?
How familiar are you with kobold aging?
Well, she's met a bunch of kobolds before, especially in the course of this campaign at least, so...
They
So
appear
weirdly
to be
pretty.
They appear to be an adult. At least based on size, which isn't saying much for a kobold, considering they are very small, but...
I'll look to Scolodius. Does she talk?
As far as I'm aware, not yet. I'm trying to get her to talk to me.
Well, let me give you some advice, she says as she backs up. If they make a statement of their boundaries and you constantly push against it, you're not going to get anywhere.
Well, I haven't pushed against it. I've merely stayed here.
Did she ask you to leave?
She merely pointed the sword, and that's it.
She waved her hands for us to back up away from the food, though.
Scalodius, back up from the food, please.
He'll scooch his butt back slightly.
More, please.
At this, the kobold will move forward a bit more, still eyeballing everybody, but seems a little more confident.
More, please, Scalodius.
Scalodius thinks for a moment, then looks like he realizes something. Takes something out and starts tying a piece of like a spare shirt over his mouth to prevent him from being able to breathe his weapon.
Elle shuts her eyes and just sigh, but won't say anything.
I don't know what the priest is trying, but I think he's trying to gain their trust.
After another minute or two, with exceptional speed, the kobold will dart forward, grabbing the supplies, and then will immediately run back into the trees.
As soon as they're in a safe spot, Skellis will remove the thing from his mouth again. Better?
They are busy eating. They seemed 100% focused on this at the moment.
This one's very intelligent. Much more than I was. Scalodius, don't you think you can stop just sitting there? No, I think I still want to gain their trust as much as I can.
I don't think you're going to gain it by sitting there and pushing against her boundaries like that. But if she's the only thing here, then have fun.
Why are the men so stubborn in this group?
Otto isn't stubborn. Elvie, can you please start your magnificent mansion?
Affirmative.
Thank you.
Elvie will begin casting the mansion. And once it is complete, she just motions after you.
After a little bit, Solis will decide to light up some incense just to get a nice scent going on. Because he has some incense sticks. Kind of stick the end of it in the ground and do a prayer of safety.
I need
Oh no.
Scalodius, Otto, and Beastie to roll perception checks, please.
Oh boy.
But it wasn't disadvantage.
Scalodius and Otto, you both, to the faintest degree, feel a small tremors happening in a rhythmic time that seem to be tremor, tremor, tremor.
Footsteps. Bliss will grab his weaponry real quick and put him away on his person, and look to where the kobold is and seeing how they're reacting.
They have their head perked before they open their lantern and very quickly take an end of a loaf of bread, stuffing it in and making the light go out.
Oh.
I think we should hide.
Otto's going to walk forward over here real quick. And he's then going to, without yelling, where is it at? I did not add in the new things, my new cantrips. But he was going to cast Message while pointing at Adel.
Adel, I believe, is inside the mansion, but you should be
Okay.
able to.
I thought she was prepping it. That's
Still be
why I
able to
was...
work.
I'll allow it to work. Okay.
Okay. So point it and say, there's footsteps. Recommend everyone outside to hide.
Oh boy. I'll quickly. Wait, she is inside. She'll poke her head outside the door. We'll say, "Okay, everyone inside now."
Yep.
And she'll.
Goliath real quick will
Outside.
say in Draconic to the kobold, "We have safety if you need to hide."
Roll persuasion.
Otto will assist.
What do you say?
They're very trustworthy and very strong. They'll be able to keep you safe.
Roll with advantage.
Well, it's a good thing I had that advantage.
Genius.
Alright. The kobold with eyes will dart around quite a lot before eventually they stand up and begin scurrying in the way she last saw Adel go.
We'll follow. Probably point out the door for her.
Doom. Doom.
And say in Draconic, if at any point you decide you want to leave, you are free to do so. You're not a captive. We are just providing safety for you. Just a little reassurance that we are friendly and mean no harm, you know?
Elodius, you notice that the tremors you believe to be footsteps appear to be more volatile. If you still think they're footsteps, it would be indicative of the creature getting closer.
Yep, time to be inside. Beastie, after you.
What the fuck?
Yep, everybody.
Wait a sec. Hold up. Please pause
In,
the skeleton.
Beastie in.
Okay. I just had a memory thing, so my brain stopped working for a split second. I was also overwhelmed. I was about to just anyway. Ayla's going to peer out at the giant skeleton.
Oh, hi.
I will stare at it for a moment. I think we should take that
Right
thing
in
out.
and shut the.
I think we
Don't
should
shut
what?
the door for now.
I think we should take it out. I don't know why, but I swear, that thing, I've seen it before. We didn't fight it then, but there was something we needed from it that we regretted not fighting it for.
This is not
Well,
the same creature.
Well, it's the same type
We can
of
fight it later,
isn't
milady.
Like it's a gigantic undead, and it looks the same as the other one, doesn't it?
We can debate that inside,
Well,
please.
The other one had lots of flesh. This seems to be more skeletal.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like, that's why I want to break a second. Can I roll a history? Because I swear there was something involving gigantic undead that was very important that we take out. Like, that they drop something. that we need. But I don't
History.
remember what it was. Alright, come on, Adol. Fuck.
You are thinking of the Titan of of the god of death of this land. Your thought process was killing it would grant you with a boon of some sort, because someone told you of that. You also assume that it could technically be an ingredient to make the binding spell that locked Rashi away.
I fucking knew it. Alright.
However, this is not the same creature.
Okay, I'll shut the door.
And Adol, as you shut the door, you watch as the creature slowly raises its hand as each point in its fingertips begin to spark with black electricity as the door shuts, leading you all to safety.
Huh. How is that thing not a Titan?
Because this was not created by a god.
Ah, right, fair enough.
Well then, I think we're getting close, milady.
We are, if that's just what's guarding the area. And she's going to...
Seems we now have a new what's the word I'm looking for? A new guest in our home right now.
It'll look to the kobold.
The kobold has already scurried out of sight.
Okay. Well,
Scalodius
Scalodius...
was keeping track of it, so where'd she scurry to?
She has found a decorative vase and has wiggled her way into it.
She is nearby. She is your problem now.
My problem?
No. Jubilee was talking to Scalodius.
I have an idea that could help her become more comfortable.
That is.
Otto will start pull out different things from his bag and start creating a trinket that will say a message. In that message, he'll introduce himself and what he looks like, and will say what everyone else in the party looks like.
Names and descriptors?
Yeah, pretty much names and descriptors of everyone.
Okay.
Then he will put it out and say, where did she go?
Points at vase.
Oh, he will then set it next.
Scalodius is guarding said vase.
He'll then set it next to the vase. I'll at least try to let her at least get to know who we are better, or at least know what to call us.
And if she's hungry, I'll make sure she knows she can get food whenever she needs.
Oh, Scalodius?
Yes.
You are in charge of convincing her to guide us through these areas that she is most familiar with.
I shall be working on her comfort and trust first, but once that is settled, I will ask.
Good. You clearly know how to socialize with her better than I do.
It's probably just a draconic thing.
Otto, do you make the trinket actually play the message?
Essentially made it to where... Oh god, actually could be really creepy. I'm thinking about it.
Would you like me to talk to her in our native language instead? That way, I think I'm at least somewhat capable of communicating to her, at least, now that she's here and safe.
Yeah, that could work. You also explained to her that she just presses that button on the trinket that she'll be able to kind of know who everyone is and what they look like, I guess.
When the time comes, I will let her know. He'll turn to the vase and just find a seat within sight of it or nearby. And then Draconic tell her, take your time. You are safe here, and we are ready to introduce ourselves whenever you're ready.
You hear a reptilian hiss come from the base.
We do have more. We do have plenty more food. If you want me to get you some.
Hey, Sglodius, you hear George call out.
Yes, George.
This could be my personal opinion. I don't really know how Dragonborns and Lizardfolk do things, but personally, I would feel very uncomfortable if someone was just constantly watching me while also being in a new place that I don't know about.
Well, I don't want her wandering off and getting into any trouble.
Not to mention, if he wouldn't watch her, I have to keep an eye on her. She may not be trustworthy.
This is for the best, George. And I must insist on this one.
Granted, she wouldn't know that I was watching her, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, that's fair. That would be even more creepy.
Plus, this is reminding me of back home when taking care of those orphans. It takes a while to gain trust of someone whose trust has been shattered or taken from them. It's not an immediate answer, unfortunately. It's something you have to build slowly.
Also, what are we gonna do if that thing is just gonna stay out there and wait for us to come out?
We fight it when we get out.
Pretty much, yeah. That's Jubilee.
Alright.
Basically do what we always do.
By the way, once the Magnificent Mansion ends, won't the Kobold just be spat out?
True, but the rest of us would be as well.
That's my point. If you're going to be building trust with her, why would she follow us? And it's not like we're sticking around here.
Well, it's for safety reasons for one. And for another, if you want a guide, you need to have a guide who can trust us just as much as we can trust them.
Well, if we can give her a reason to stick around.
Again, ultimately, it is her choice.
In that case, will that just be better to leave the mansion up while we deal with the giant skeleton? That she doesn't just scurry off while we're fighting it?
Did anyone make sure Zug came into the mansion?
Beastie is going to poke her head outside.
Beastie's gonna what?
Poke her head outside to see for Zug.
You do not see Zug outside.
Uh-oh.
She's going to look around to see if Zug is inside.
Where do you look?
Everywhere. Actually, no.
Look where the
She's
most
going
metal
to look,
is.
Yeah, where the most metal is.
Which would be?
So probably the kitchen.
Yes.
Either the kitchen or the workshop.
Kitchen first.
He is not in the kitchen.
She'll check the workshop.
You find that Oddle's room has been broken into and is currently being ransacked by not only Zug, but his metallic goblins.
Beastie will pull out the stick of healing. Okay, no, not here.
All of the goblins stop and stare at you.
Not here. Out.
A workshop.
Otto is in dismay. His workshop's been pilfered.
Not here. And she's going to try and
safe.
Yeah, she's going to try and get all of the goblins and metal goblins out of the workshop.
As you begin trying this, they will all begin running away from you, each nabbing various things before sprinting out of the room, which repairs itself in magically after they vacate.
Still rude.
And when it repairs itself, a little note appears out of nowhere, and there's a small message on it, clearly in LV's handwriting, that says, "Sorry, Otto."
I think it's time to put your stuff in a safe from now on, Otto. We have guests.
Huh? Oh, my safe's right here. And he just points out his bag.
That's not a bag. That's not a safe. That's a bag. Says
Yeah, but it's
Beastie.
safe here.
You
Is
know,
it though?
can't argue with that. Beastie seems
Well,
convinced.
when we've got Goblin and his minions pilfering stuff, I don't know if it is safe.
I'll have Poppy guard the door if anything.
Let's just hope Hoppy doesn't get stolen next.
I can rebuild them.
We have the
I can
technology.
imagine Hoppy looking over just like, wow.
I mean, as long as his head isn't taken, I can always just bring him back.
And if they do take his head?
Then people are going to die.
Hey, I'm scared that you said that so nonchalantly.
That's my first invention. If someone takes it away from me, I will not be happy. Well,
You've been hanging out with Hubert too much.
Is it a bad thing that I want to protect something precious to me?
No, but it's a bad thing when murder's the first option.
Thought it was like the best option.
No.
Again, been hanging out with Hubert too much.
Murder is not the best option, says Adel.
It's
The best option.
It's the most convenient one, though.
Hubert, shush.
Hubert. Both his ladies just went, Hubert.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be very convenient for me to get Hoppy back if I just killed the person that took him.
Otto.
I don't even have the vocabulary to explain how incorrect you are.
I do. That's messed up.
What? I'd do the same if anyone took you guys away from me.
I appreciate it, but I don't want people killing others for my sake.
And I'm pretty sure there are other routes you can go to first before killing. Killing is an option. It should not be the immediate option.
I will make it my convenient last resort then.
Okay.
No. I'm not letting you get past that one. Doesn't feel like we're trying to discipline a child right now, and yet we're failing miserably.
Well, that's why I'm not a mother. Heaven's help if I have a child.
Ugh. Especially with you-know-who as the father. Looks to Hubert.
I would make a lovely father.
You would teach them
Because
how
you're
to
doing
kill.
so well with this one.
He's not a child.
He is influenced.
That he is an adult. He can make his own choices.
I feel you would teach our child how to poison the dog.
If that is what she wanted to learn, but it would be closer to poisoning a human.
I cannot believe you, Hubert.
I love dogs.
Also, you already assume it's going to be a girl?
Of course it would be. Why wouldn't it be?
Is that a drow thing where they're guaranteed to be girls unless you feel like it otherwise?
If the bloodline is strong enough, you will always produce a female heir.
Huh. Another
And-
thing to note, if you want a son, it's gonna have to be me then.
And given the fact that Lady Adelsade's mother has had at least 5 daughters, it's safe to assume the bloodline is strong.
You see Jubilee counting real quick.
It's more than double digits
only-
now that I think about it.
Well then.
Yes, my mother has produced many heirs. None of them as promising as me, of course, but...
Isn't one of your sisters a queen in a different area?
And?
You know, I
Just
forgot
saying
about
it.
I forgot about Valentine.
I didn't.
Just saying, kind of like being a queen in your own area is kind of, I don't know. No offense, but it feels like a step above what you are.
Adel raises an eyebrow while looking to her. You forget that I own at least 4 kingdoms, right?
But she built hers from scratch?
Yes, and I took mine. What is your point?
Also, technically, Valentine didn't build hers from scratch. She took over good portions of both Solaria and Lunaria and made it her own.
And you know what? You got me there.
I cannot believe, she huffs. As if you know anyone else that owns at least 4 kingdoms.
I'm... If you want to be technical about it, well, not officially, my family technically runs the Solarian kingdom underground.
Oh, so you run 1 kingdom. I am impressed.
You assume that's the only one.
And technically speaking, your family only runs the criminal underbelly. Doesn't actually run the kingdom.
Hey, a lot of things underground run things above it.
She gives a slight look of superiority to Jubilee. I see.
Smug look of superiority.
Yes.
Methinks me lady is feeling a bit full of herself.
Why wouldn't she? She owns 4 kingdoms.
It is not often that people forget who I am. Especially one as close as you. Maybe I should start acting more like a stereotypical noble so people will start taking my accomplishments more seriously.
Please don't. I like you the way you are.
Then acknowledge me. Acknowledge me!
I knew that was coming. Well, Julie suddenly feels the urge to put one finger up in the air. Not sure why.
You know, how about you mention it, Adel? Since you are nobility,
I am.
I guess I can ask you this. What will be the best way to propose?
With a ring.
Well, this
She
took a left
pauses.
turn.
Oh, I see. Okay. So first you are going to want to set a very large party, invite as many people as possible, and then in front of everyone you need to get down on one knee and propose to your beloved. Your mother Your mother needs to be there, as does the beloved's mother, but in this instance, their friends will be fine. And you will also most likely need to fight off other suitors, most likely to the death.
But that is drow culture.
That last part I think is just drow only.
You do need to ask her father for permission to take her hand, though.
I don't even know if her father is alive.
Oh, that sounds like you can't propose then.
No,
I have to.
you can figure it out. I mean, there is necromancy and blood magic.
Oh, that is true. All we have to do is find the body.
Yes, but I mean, if the body is no longer existing, then you'll have to use a wish spell.
You could also not be non-traditional and just go ask.
Jubilee!
I mean, yeah, that kind of was what I was thinking about doing. She doesn't seem like someone who kind of likes the glitz and glamour of proposals.
Look,
See, you're figuring it out already.
I might not get along with that Adel Sarday, but she is still an empress of the Drow Empire. You can't... One does not simply go up to an empress and ask her to marry them without getting repercussions. And she rests her hand on
I could do the funniest thing right now.
If you do just go straight up to her and ask, be prepared for the consequences.
I mean, I had
Okay,
a plan.
Jay,
I don't
how do
think
you
it was,
do these choice rolls? I need to know now.
How do I do the choice rolls?
Yeah, do you just do a D100? Which side determines yes or no?
Under
Usually
50
less.
is Renegade, over 50 is Paragon.
Yeah, and an early 25 is very bad choice.
Well, let's find out. Oh, this is gonna go swimmingly. So, Adel, about that idea.
Yes.
So you would hate it if I just said, "Hey, Adel, let's get married."
She pauses.
Says with a cheeky grin.
But I'm not an empress, so it doesn't really matter much to me.
Oh, so Princess can just have any commoner come up to her and ask?
You're not a commoner.
me?
You're a retainer of a princess. That basically makes you a knight, as in lower nobility. No,
Not only that, but your family is also nobles, so you're definitely not a commoner.
Yes. Anyway, the response to that question depends entirely on Hubert. Typically, he'd kill you, but I feel he likes you.
Yes, I would have to say no for her because I have to be the first person she marries.
Princess was stunned into silence.
No, she just nods as if she has already decided this. Yes, of course. It just depends on the timing. Can't do it now anyway.
I think he just did.
No, he didn't. He doesn't have a ring.
George is gonna say, what if I made that my proposal?
Huh? You just ask her?
Huh?
No, I mean, not really just walking up and asking her, but more or less ending it with the line of, I want to be the first and the last person you marry.
That's a
good one.
That is a good line, George. Your mother has taught
I think
you
we
well.
can both agree on that one.
Yes, your mother has taught you well.
How do you intend on prolonging your life, then? She's an elf, after all. You're going to die before her.
You see George's optimism slowly turn into dread as he's coming to the realization of that.
I mean, while true, he is a warlock patron of his mother. I'm sure that would give him some extension to his life.
I suppose she could gift him longevity.
Yeah. And if that doesn't work, I can always use my blood magic on you.
No, thank you.
I suppose that's a wedding gift you'd have to ask your mother for, George.
Yeah, but I don't know how she'd like me asking to live longer being an angel of death.
I think it should
Well, it's not living forever. I don't think that's that big a deal.
I guess I'll have to see what she says when I speak to her again. It's also going to be a very much longer conversation now that I have a duel to get ready for as well.
Picture in it now. King Consort George.
Technically, he'd be a prince.
Right, Prince Consort. My mistake.
Don't say that around Beastie, please.
No. But George, if you marry an empress, you would technically be a prince.
Prince Consort.
Because you can't have a title of equal or greater rank than the one you marry.
You couldn't avoid the prince allegations forever.
BC will just grin.
So will Jubilee.
Called it.
He'll just put his head down on the table.
So now you will be a leader, George.
And a prince. He will actually be a prince.
I guess my next thing I'll need to do is find a fucking place to rule. I don't know.
You also need to find a ring.
Yes.
I already have a ring.
Yeah, that isn't a... Oh.
Let me see it.
He will pull out the ring that his mother gave him.
Ooh, that's nice, actually.
That's a nice ring.
Man has thought it through.
Yep, I also have a place for us to stay. It's the old place I grew up in. But if she's going to be a princess or a queen, I feel like she should at least have some place to rule, so there's that as well. Because once it's all said and done, I'll try to make the wilds less wilds.
Ah, yes. Bring domestication to the wilds. Fantastic idea.
If I recall,
I'm trying my hardest not to make a really bad joke right now.
If I recall, didn't Rashi do that?
No, I don't think he did.
No. And, well, I guess less taming or making the wilds less wild. I think more having another controlled place in the wilds could be a good start. Like how there's the Druid place, the Gold Kingdom, things like that.
So you wish to build a kingdom, and you want to start in the wilds?
I don't know. I don't know anything about building a kingdom. I was planning on just being a general. Now I gotta look for being a prince, figuring out how to propose, deciding whether or not I need to kill somebody or not.
If you don't want to rule, then simply don't rule.
Simply don't, forehead.
But if you do want to rule, then rule, says Beastie.
I probably wouldn't want to rule. I'd be kind of terrified of how I would act as a leader.
Why is that?
Every time I've been a leader, my first go-to is killing the enemy.
I mean, that's not always a bad thing, says Adel. As much as I'm morally against it, there are many kingdoms which are successfully run by having a "if you are not a member of us, we will kill you" mentality.
Yeah, but you said before, that makes people mad.
Yes, it does, which is why you had to kill everyone and make sure they don't kill you first.
Is this BC talking or Adel?
Adel. I doubt it's something that you would or should go for, though.
I feel like I'd want it to be similar to how my mother runs the Haven.
I thought she was only one of the leaders. That was more of a republic sort of thing.
That's what I mean, is making it like a republic with different thoughts and opinions in different walks of life.
If that's
I
the
only know
case,
so much from where I was raised, though.
That's the case, you would be a fine leader. You'd have other people to bounce your ideas off of, to keep you in check, and for you to offer advice to and whatnot.
You could also simply ask for one of the seats of running Haven.
Beastie will just like give George a look. This being something she has also strongly suggested on many occasions.
If that were the case, I'd want to give it over to... I'd want to let Eddie do that. Or give it to Eddie.
What if she doesn't want to?
Then I'd do it.
Beastie will clap.
Alright, now we just simply have to convince Lady Adelsade's alternate to let George lead.
Do you really think that she would let George lead?
She had no problem with me leading the army you put together, even though she disagreed with it. Or the group of people, I guess, that you put together, since I've been told multiple times, it doesn't really count as an army.
Well, good luck.
But also, I feel like since she kind of had to go about killing everyone and still lost her home, she at least deserves to have some way to lead people.
The question is if she'd want one. Actually, who am I kidding? She would want one. It is her birthright.
Exactly. But, in that... You know what? I don't want to overthink it. I'm going to start thinking it's a bad idea now if I keep thinking.
Beastie will
Just think,
just...
George, if you don't put enough thought into it, what could happen?
No, don't listen to Gloomy, George, says Beastie, while patting him on the back. Besides, after enough time, every good idea is a bad idea.
You're telling me that as I just challenged the person who scarred me for life to a duel.
Yeah, that was a terrible idea, but it was great.
And if you win, it turns out it was a good idea.
Exactly. Every good idea is a bad idea when your bad idea is a good idea.
I also showed him.
You also what?
I showed him the fucking amulet.
Yeah, that's why that one I can't spin to be a good idea. I'm not sure why you did that.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with Beastie here on that one. That was a bad idea, said Adel.
Yeah.
On the plus side, I do feel now he genuinely was trying to help you.
I think he was antagonizing him.
I think he was trying to help him in his own way.
He's a pirate. They don't try to help anyone but themselves.
I think he's just a prick.
I think all three of these things can work, be true at the same time.
So, George, how close were you to putting on that amulet and getting stabbed in the kidney?
I don't kind of look at Hubert.
I did tell Hubert to stop you if you end up, doing something reckless.
The way I was going to stop you was by stabbing you in the kidney.
You couldn't have just restrained me?
I suppose I could have.
I don't know. I think if he had said something about my mother or father again after that, I probably would have. Emphasis on the probably. Especially since I can barely feel a connection to my mom at the point other than my power.
Unfortunately, until we either deal with the Lich or we escape this area, there's not going to be any connection to your mother.
Yep. Let's try it while I'm trying to get my mind on other things.
Like marriage? Says Beastie.
Exactly.
What are you going to call your kids?
I don't want to think about that.
Why?
Cause that's way down the line if she even wants to have kids.
It'll be fun. I'm gonna name mine Stripes. She pauses. No. Jaws. Yeah, Jaws. Because Rashi has really big teeth. And he'll probably have big teeth. Or she. Me no know.
Why not scales?
Too obvious.
And Jaws isn't.
Yes. And she snickers. Ooh, what if he and Panther start biting each other? That would be cute.
Alright, that's enough talk about that. I'm heading to bed. Or are you resting here?
At least until that gigantic skeleton leaves.
Or we're ready to fight it?
Yes.
Alright. Also, can someone burn this? They'll toss the book on the table.
Is the table made out of wood?
Yes.
Alright. It'll pick it up, and with a flash of her eyes, it will start to burn.
Thank you.
She'll nod, just keeping it burning up until it is ash, and then she'll drop the remains. I guess before the long rest, BC will keep an eye on the Ravagers to see if he wakes up or anything.
He does not.
Alright.
Beginning to think we should simply kill this thing, he says, motioning to the Ravager.
You said this, Hubert?
Yes.
Hubert.
Not.
That joke is not funny.
It's George. He says, walking back, and it's like, that's what I could do. And George will walk back to them.
Murder?
No, I could see if he's being forced to stay asleep. Or there's something holding him back from being asleep. Look over to Adol. Does that seem like a good idea?
Sorry, can you say the egg question again?
I could try to talk to him in his dream to see if there's something preventing him from actually waking up.
Please do.
Alright. If I start freaking the fuck out, I guess knock me out of my trance or something. Without stabbing me, please.
Hubert?
Hmm.
That also means don't kill him.
He simply asked no stabbing.
Well, I'm telling you, don't kill him.
Okay, I won't kill him.
Alright. George will simply sit down next to Thara's body and will start to cast Dream. And I'll put up the spell card.
Hold on, I'm reading.
And if he's able to choose the environment itself, it would be a bar. Or a tavern.
Wow, that's racist.
Hey, that's literally what Thorgrim's room was.
Racist, I say.
Who knew George was so racist?
Oh my god.
I mean, he does have racist ammunition, so...
I didn't know when, from the moment he bought racist ammunition, being with the group for 1 month. Is that the list of all the ammunition he got? Hold on.
If we're not
I
careful,
don't
he's going to go Super Sand Racist 3.
Alright, so before you can shape the dream, you slowly enter your trance. You slowly enter the trance, and the dream you come into is actually appears to be a battlefield of some sort. Bodies are lying everywhere, and in the middle of the devastated landscape, you see what appears to be the dwarf whose title is the Ravager, lying face down in the dirt in the middle of the battlefield.
Huh. He will just say, let's get you someplace more comfortable, warrior, and he will try to shape the dream into a bar.
You have no issue shaping the dream into the bar, but he is still lying on the floor.
He will then go and pour up some ale, and we'll set it down next to him. the floor and see if he does anything.
He just continues to lay there for the time being.
George will then go ahead and try to tap him on the shoulder.
I ain't moving.
Can I ask why not?
Tired.
From all the fighting?
Been fighting for years.
You don't even want to move for a drink in your dreams?
No. You don't realize I have not been able to rest for years. Constantly fight, constantly moving. This is the first rest I've gotten in so long.
Well, that's good. To be honest, I was worried that something was just forcing you to keep you asleep, so it's good to know that it's just you wanting to rest.
I'm forcing me to stay asleep.
You're forcing yourself to stay asleep?
Yeah.
Okay, well, while you're resting, is there anywhere you'd like to be at when you wake up, at least?
Huh?
When you wake up, is anywhere you'd like to be at, like a home, a certain area? Because right now you're just sleeping on the floor in a mansion.
Oh, that sounds perfect. You know, sleeping on the floor is good for your back.
I won't contest you on that one.
Good, because I know I'm right.
You know what? How about I bring you someone who could probably have a more worthwhile conversation for you, okay? Be right back. Well, it won't be me, but it'll be another dwarf friend. And he will end the spell. Snapping out of his trance. Looking around and be like, yeah, he's fine. But he is just enjoying his rest after years of fighting.
Fair enough.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but I'm not well versed in. I feel like I kind of suck at talking to dwarves, so he'll look over to Thorgrim.
I got it. Yeah.
Our resident dwarf.
Yeah, let me do some dwarven diplomacy. It'll be fine.
Alright, if need be, he'll kind of explain the spell and everything and how he can kind of shape the dream itself.
So, you want me to go to sleep then?
You won't go to sleep, you'll kind of enter in like a trance. It'd be like you're meditating, essentially.
Oh, well, meditating puts me to sleep anyway, so doesn't make much of a difference.
And I'm guessing you also won't mind doing it on the floor?
Yep. Hang on. Flop.
Then George will cast Dream on Thorgrim. Well, cast Dream with Thorgrim being the messenger.
Thorgrim, as your trance begins, you appear in what looks to be a bar when you see the person you know as the Ravager laying in the just laying in the floor.
Okay. Thorgrim's gonna walk over and is gonna lay on the floor right next to him.
This is my floor.
Can I share?
No.
Fine. I'll get up and I'll sit down on a stool. So, hear you're pretty tired, eh?
Been fighting for years.
Yeah, I get it. That hammer, the necklace, they've been telling you, keep fighting, right?
Oh.
Are you okay? Like, are you just tired or are you hurt?
I ain't moving.
Okay. Thorgrim's gonna just think for a minute. Then he's gonna get up off the stool. And he's gonna walk to the Ravager. He's gonna just gently nudge him with his foot.
You see him be nudged, but he still doesn't move.
Well,
What?
how long you planning on sitting there or laying there?
I don't know. Until I ain't tired.
How long's that gonna be, eh?
I don't fucking know.
Well, while you're busy laying there like a lump, you know what you're missing?
Huh.
Beer. You're missing red meat. You're missing parties, dude. You're missing watching other people have bar fights. You don't have to be in them, but it's fun watching them, right? It's fun watching people get thrown around. Isn't it hilarious watching some chump get chucked out of a window? That's great, isn't it? And you're missing all of it by laying here and doing nothing.
Why are you trying to get me to move? Don't wanna. It seems that you have convinced him at least to ponder moving at this point.
Sweet. Because you're missing out on life, dude. What kind of life are you gonna live if you're just gonna sit there, like a goddamn lump doing nothing all day, huh?
I like being a fucking lump.
Well, that's what the nighttime's for. You go to sleep in the night and you wake up in the morning and you do shit and then you go back to sleep again. That's what life is.
Is it nighttime now?
Was it nighttime?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh. Thorgrim will think about that for a minute. Let's go. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
So, Thorgrim is gonna imagine. Actually, he'll try to imagine. He does. I don't even know if he even knows that dreamscapes work. So he's gonna imagine a bed.
You put your. Actually, I need you to roll me an intelligence real quick.
Fuck yeah. D20 roll, go.
Alright. You put your pointer fingers to your temples and you begin thinking of a bed. And you do, in fact, materialize a bed, but it's like 20 feet to the left.
Fuck it. I'll go to the bed and I'll just flop down on it and go. Alright, well, it's nighttime, so I guess we'll get some sleep and then I'll see you in the morning.
Hey, hand me that beer, he says, pointing to the one George summoned way back when.
Fine. I'll get back out of the bed, I'll grab the beer, I'll place it beside him, then I'll go back in bed.
You know sleeping on the floor is good for your back.
I don't know. I got old man bones, so I think I need a cushy mattress.
Wait, how old are you?
Like 400 something.
God
Sorry.
damn.
Sorry, no, that's Ellie. Resend that. I'm about like 200 something.
Fucking old bastard.
How old are you?
He tells you his age. He's 2 years younger than you.
Hey, don't call me an old bastard, you old bastard.
I'm gonna.
Fuck you. Dwarven diplomacy, woo!
I really love that everyone's solution to a dwarf is just like, all right, we're going to try. Okay, we don't feel like we're getting anywhere. Get Thorgrim.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fight our dwarf with another dwarf.
Dwarf, I choose you.
Dwarf.
Dwarf at you. I choose
Stick with
you.
the fact that George barely knows how to conversate with people.
And so
Sticking
you
to
get
this
the
bit.
fucking dwarf to do it.
Exactly.
Dwarven diplomacy works.
I don't know shit about dwarven diplomacy. Here, have a dwarf.
Sup?
I like being a lump. You're supposed to do that at night. Is it nighttime? Huh, you know what?
I'll be a lump with ya. But in the morning, I swear to God, you better not be a lump anymore.
Alright. So, Thorgrim continues to be in a trance for several minutes, and it doesn't seem that he's going to be coming out of it anytime soon.
Well, they're either having a really long conversation or they're getting drunk, is my assumption.
There's a little bit of a snot bubble coming out of his nose.
That is
Or he's
gross.
also sleeping in a drink. How does that work? You kind of look. George just kind of look perplexed for a
I've
moment.
achieved double sleep.
When you sleep while you're
Sleep
sleeping,
squared.
then that means you're having a dream of unrestful sleep, which is typically a nightmare. You'll
Maybe.
wake up feeling as if you had no rest while feeling well rested.
How many times can I go to sleep in a dream and wake up and then go?
Of course, if inside that dream he does have a dream of him sleeping, then he will feel rested. Therefore, he'll be doubly rested while feeling like he had no rest.
Is this too much talk about rest for me? I'm gonna go rest.
Make sure it's a long one.
Yeah. If anything, you should pop out of there in like 8 hours. That's usually how long it'll last. Which, I guess he should be rested by then.
I hope so.
Though I guess the state of his rest would depend upon the inception of the dreams. But that's a discussion for another time.
Yep. So Olive says, I'll work on my workshop.
Alright.
Oh wait, never mind, my lesson. I'll then go over to Elfie.
Can I help you?
Did you want to continue the lessons, or did you want to not do it for tonight?
I can do whatever you wish.
Okay. I'd like to keep being taught then.
Oh, well, very well then. She seems to almost perk up at this and will immediately launch into lesson 3. I think at this point she's going over every school of magic one by one in more detail.
Ah, okay.
I like
kind of like a first couple lessons were a broad scope, and now it's kind of like one by one.
I like to imagine, though, that based on her own personal beliefs, she has no idea anything about necromancy because she doesn't like necromancy.
Yeah, that's definitely the shortest one of the bunch. Like, she knows it by a technical standpoint, but it's just like, I've never really bothered to try with it because I find it repulsive.
It's just like, lesson 3, divination, goes on these long talks. Lesson 4, necromancy, all it says is no. Lesson 5.
Do not do this. Moving on.
Alright, so what are the rest of y'all doing?
Steve is chilling.
So, nobody has anything else they want to do? The long rest shall commence. And all of you will be able to awaken the next morning.
George will wake up, check his belongings to make sure everything is good.
Yeah, everything seems fine.
And then make his way over to the main hall.
Alright. He'll wake up, freshen herself up, and then we'll also head out into the main hall.
And
Oops.
since this seems like a good place to end it at the beginning of the next day, I say we go ahead and call it here.
Yeah, good timing.
Hey, thanks for watching the video until the end. If you want to see more of my stuff, click on either the vids on screen or check out my YouTube channel. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and check the description for more places to follow me. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be seeing you.